Hey there, Desert Tech, Colin in particular. Just wanted to clarify here real quick that this isn't just some video that I found on YouTube that was kind of similar to the issues that I've been having. Now this is me speaking directly to you, talking about this rifle in particular. All right, so from your last email, it looks like the rifle is functioning just fine when firing, and that's great. That's fantastic, but that is not the only issue that I was having with it. So I've sent this guy into you twice now, specifically mentioning two issues in particular both times. And I'm not going to be so crass as to suggest that you just didn't do anything about them. But I am sitting here with a rifle that's still doing the same exact thing as if it hasn't been touched. So let's talk about that. So as I mentioned, there are two issues in particular that I'm having with it that have still not been resolved. One is the magazine release, which is just ridiculously stiff, and then the other is it not being able to cycle live rounds. So let's address these in order here. The magazine release. It is unusable. It will work if you really get a thumb on it and really press on it, but how it's designed to function, I'm left-handed, so I take my left index finger right here and try and release it, it just does not want to go. That is, like you can see my finger, I am pressing on that with as much strength as I have, and I'm double jointed here, so I have a nice little angle of attack, but with one finger, that is just impossible to press. And that's, for a rifle that costs as much as this does, and for a rifle that's supposed to be a serious rifle, quote unquote, that is completely unacceptable. If this was some novelty rifle or shotgun, I wouldn't mind quite so much, but that is very clearly not the product that you're trying to market here. Now, I did actually go out of my way and pick up this little calibrated push-pull gauge just to see exactly where we're measuring up with this magazine release, and the results are, they're not pretty, so let's actually take a look here. Pushing past 8 pounds. Past 10 pounds. And it's right about 13.5 where that breaks. That is horrible. That is abysmal. And again, no serious rifle should have that much weight in the magazine release. That's just completely unacceptable. So let's give it a little bit of a baseline to compare to here. So this is just your most basic of basic AR-15s. This is not a Gucci rifle. This is a DPMS lower with, I believe, a Daniel Defense lower parts kit, mil-spec. Absolutely nothing special whatsoever. This magazine release, though, about 4.5 pounds. Now, AR-15s are very well fine-tuned and whatnot, so that may be on the lower side for standard conventional rifles. But using that 4.5 pounds is kind of a baseline metric. That means that the MDR is literally 3 times as heavy as it ought to be. And again, that's not cool. I've sent this rifle into you twice now, and that has not improved not 1 pound since I've sent it in. So that's something that needs addressed still. All right, so moving on, the other issue that we're having is it will not cycle live rounds. Empty rounds, yeah, A-okay, no problem. Actually firing it, not a problem. But if you needed to, say, take a live round out of the chamber to clear the rifle for whatever reason, be it a ceasefire, or maybe you just want to clear it, make it safe, do whatever. You know, there's 1.5 million different situations that you might be able to find yourself doing that. It just doesn't work. So let me show you what I mean. All right, so the chamber is clear at the moment, so let's go ahead and load it up. We have one in the chamber. Now, if I wanted to clear that, and here's the thing, it all depends on how quick you do it. If you really, really yank on this thing with some authority, it'll cycle just fine. See? No problem. But here's the thing, if you do that anything less than full extreme, it just gunks up the whole gun. Let me show you. And there it is. The gun is now bricked and requires disassembly to get that clear. So if you can see in there, you'll notice that round is just kind of caught up in there. It didn't make it into the ejection chute. It's clear on the other side of this little bridge right here, and it just didn't make it in. And I will remind you, I did make a full cycle of this charging handle. I just didn't pull it back as hard. It still made the full distance, and it should not be doing this. Again, a serious rifle should not brick itself, should not make itself completely inoperable if you just don't pull on the charging handle with a tremendous amount of force. That is unacceptable. And let me preempt something here, because I know it's going to come up, because it always does. Oh, you're just using the wrong kind of ammunition. So first of all, no, absolutely not. I'm not even firing the gun, so the type of ammunition used should not matter. And that notwithstanding, this is PPU 7.62, the most basic of basic rounds that you can get. And if this doesn't cycle in your rifle, you have a serious problem. Now, this is just standard ball ammo. It's not super long or something. I could kind of understand if that was the case. If I was using some specialty rounds with noses that came out to here, obviously that would be a bit more of a problem. But no, this is just the most basic of ammunition that you can get. So let's take a closer look at what happened. Like they're supposed to smack in just like that, right? But that's not happening. So let me pull the upper and lower apart here, and we'll take a nice close look at what's happening without all this in the way. We'll be able to see exactly what's going on. All right, so here we have our upper all taken apart. Both side panels are on properly as they should be. There's a live round in the chamber, bolt is fully closed. And these seem to be cycling just fine when you do it like this, even super duper slowly. See, no problem there. So honestly, I do not know where the disconnect is. I don't know what's causing it to just not work, but it's not working. And I've asked you guys to attend to that both times that I've sent it in now, and it's still a problem. And I really hate to repeat myself here, but if a serious rifle is bricking itself to the point where it needs disassembled, when you cycle a live round out of the chamber, it's just, that's no good. All right, so here's the thing. I really, really, really want to like this rifle. I'm a huge fan of bullpups. I have literally every single one of them on the commercial markets, even down to the really oddball stuff like the Bushmaster arm pistol and whatnot. So I really want to like this rifle, but I can't until it's working properly. So what I really don't want to do is give this thing a scathing review for the issues that have been mentioned and the lack of fixes for them, but that's really all I'm left with here. I really want to give this thing just a glowing, praising review for being the best bullpup on the market, but this is not it. This needs fixed, and honestly, the ball is in your court at this point, because I don't know how to fix this. I've sent it in to you twice. I think it's been to the factory 3 times now, because the previous owner had some work done on it as well. So what do we do here? What's the plan? Because these are issues that I'm having that have not been addressed, and frankly, I feel like they've been flat out ignored. So get back to me about where to go from here. Ideally, I send this thing in another time and it gets fixed properly up to where it should be. But, you know, maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe there's just no fixing this one. But that's not going to be a good look.